Good day and welcome to Blind Squirrel's Den. Today, I thought I'd show you how I braid up my slings. We'll learn several different knots and different techniques. Here's my finger loop, the knot that holds everything together here that goes into my 4-strand braid. So we'll learn the Turk's head knot is what I call it. I'm not sure if that's the proper name for it. 4-strand braid. And we'll learn how to do the pouch braid, or pouch weave actually. I'll show you how to incorporate your 5th and 6th pouch strands into the 4-strand braid. Here's where it exits and then tapers out back down to your 4-strand braid and then to your termination or your stopper knots. I use 2 just because I found for me this is what I like. Most people use 1, so it's your preference, but here we go. Today we're going to learn the knots. The stopper knot, 4-strand braid, and the pouch weave. Let's do it. To make it a little bit easier, I'm going to try and use multiple colors. So we'll see how this works. So to start off with, normally you would have your finger loop of whatever description you're going to make. We're just going to do that. And so you would have 4 strands that came out. And this is where you would tie your first big Turk's head knot is what I call it. So to make it easier to see, I'm going to use 4 distinct colors together. And a bonus knot is a constrictor knot that we're going to use to hold all this together until I get that other knot tied in it. So here's the bonus knot. This is a cool little constrictor. And I use it all the time in making my slings anytime I need something to be held and I don't have a way to hold it. So you go over and make a loop, and then you come up through and underneath of everything, and then pull it tight. And if you get that neat little X, you know you've got it right. So that's what it looks like on the other side. So all you do is it can be tied either to the right or it can be tied to the left. So the first one will tie to the right. So you take your strand, you go over top, over top, over top, and then this one goes down through. And you just start to pull everything together. The way it's tied is over top of the yellow, underneath of the orange, and through the loop of the blue and up. Next one to go will be the one you held down. So the orange will get held down. The yellow goes over top, underneath the blue, and through the pink, up through the pink, through the pink. Through the pink. And you can tighten it back down. The orange goes over the blue, under the pink, see the pink's the next one, and up through the yellow. And the last one is the blue. You pull the pink down because that's the next color, so the pink goes down, the blue goes over it. Yellow's next, so it goes underneath of the yellow and up through the orange. All right, and to tighten it, you just work it. So first you get back that original 4 that you had together. Yeah, I'm pulling on that part of it. It pulls it down, pulls it into place. Pulling it against the stopper knot at the bottom. Next is you take from here and then it goes up through. See, your pink is next. So see, the pink should be coming up right there. The blue and the orange. And you keep working the knot. You wiggle it and pull it. There's the stopper knot. And like I said, it can be tied the other direction. So that would be, you would go over to the left, to the left, to the left, and then in. Boom. And you do the same thing. Tighten them all down. Except for this time, you would go to the left. All right, now remember I said there was 2 ways to tie the knot. The way we just did, which was over, under, up, and through. The other way it can be tied, which makes it a little bit smaller, and since we're tying it, I'm showing you the second way to the left, and do it to the right too. This way, you go under, under, up, and through. So we'll start with the pink, goes under the blue, under the orange, and up and through the yellow. Now, move to your blue. Your blue goes under the orange, and you went up through the yellow, so it goes underneath of the yellow and up through the pink. Orange, under the yellow, under the pink, up and through the blue. Last one, yellow, under the pink, under the blue, so you pull it down, and then up through the orange. And you tighten it the same way. And now you can see the difference in the 2 knots. One is slightly smaller, a little bit more round. The other one, and it has 2 crosses. This has 3. 1, 2, 3. For the 4-strand braid, this is how you can start it. There again, 2 different ways to do it. So see how it comes out of the knots. Nice and square, there's no twists. All right, so for the 4-strand braid, you're gonna separate it. And like I said, there's a couple different ways that you can tie this. One way is you can cross here, and then you're gonna have, let's see, this one comes in and over, then the pink one behind and over. All right, I'm gonna clip this to my little guy up here so he holds him, my handy dandy holder. Still in frame, yep. All right, so then the yellow come under and through, and you just keep doing that over and over again. The one that's kind of the oddball out, that's on the top, goes behind 2 and over 1. The one that's up and above kind of the oddball by itself. Behind 2, 1, 2, up and over 1. Again, the one that's by itself, over 2, blue and pink, up and back. So there's that method of braiding the 4-strand braid. The second method is you're going to take and separate them into pairs. So you're going to have the middle, the top and bottom one, and the left and the right one. The top and bottom one cross bottom on the right hand side over the top. And then you take the left and the right, and they go so that the left goes on top of the right. And then you pull tight. Then it goes back to the right, is on top, pull left and right, the left goes on top, pull up and down, the right goes on top, pull left and right, the left goes on the top, pull, so forth and so on. And that's what that gives you. The 4-strand braid. And as you see, this naturally turns into what you need for your pouch. Splits off or branches off into 2 different strands so that you can weave your pouch in there. But before that, you have to add in your 5th and your 6th cord. So to add in, you take your cord, and here again, this is where it's a preference, like it's something to experiment with. I don't know what's right, I don't know what's wrong, because I've played with both. I have slings that do well under both braiding conditions. I have slings that don't do so good under both braiding conditions. But you can take and you can put your 5th strand along your side cords, or you could put your 5th strand, 5th and 6th strand on your middle cords. So like I said, it's just play with it. Maybe if you guys figure something out, you can make a comment and let me know, because it's something that I'm not 100% sure on. This is like a lost art, and most people that seem to really know how to do it don't really talk about it. So I'm giving this my best for the folks that are just beginning. So like I said, you can go there, or you can go inside here. Either way. So if you go here, I would lock it by coming underneath. So that, see, it kind of locks it in place, and then you just continue your braiding. So you're back to this. Top and bottom, the right goes on the top, left and right, the left goes on top. See how that adds in? And then when you get to, for your 6th strand, it's the same thing. Alright, so we went on the inside. So it goes inside. And remember I said you turned it and locked it. So that's on the bottom. So here it is. You stick it in. Lock it in place. Nice snug pull. Now you got 6 strands on a 4-strand braid. So now we continue that same pattern, top and bottom. The blue's on the right, it goes and stays on the top. Left and right are the double strands, the left goes on top, tight, top and bottom, right on top, tight, left and right, left on top. All right. That's what you get. Now, to go into the pouch weave, black and green were our extra strands for the pouches. So I'm going to do one more. Try and get them in the middle. There we go. They're in the middle now. And the pouch weave that I tie is just very simple. So it's an over under. So there's my first over with the black. And I like to do mine at the same time on both sides. Same thing, so that I keep it kind of even. Over. All right. And so now, over, it's going to be under. Under. And see how they cross? So now we're going to push them back and tighten it up. They're nice and even, or as even as you can, whatever. And then we're just going to repeat. Same thing again. This time they're on the opposite side. So the green goes over and under. Behind and under. There. Black does the same thing. Over. And then they cross with the right hand side first. And the left hand side coming up behind those inner strands. See how it's making a nice even pattern that's alternating. So you keep doing that for a couple more times. This is where your pouch splits, and we're going to have the two sides. One side's going to be green, one side's going to be black in this case. And the braid is the same. Over. I call that over because it goes over behind, and then it goes back under. And this you're just going to do. You can keep doing this. And of course you want to keep it as tight as possible. I'm just doing it loosely because it's really hard to apply any pressure on it in this position. But you keep doing this, just like that. So we did 3, we'll do 3 more. There's 3. And they should be fairly close to being even. That would make the beginning phases of the pouch. So now to close the pouch, we want to finish with the same braid that we started with. So we take and we go over, back and behind, whatever you want to say. And then it's the same thing. This goes first. Up and through. And the black, up and through. Rinse and repeat. Right? And then you do that the same number of times that you did it as you came into the pouch. I've run out of string, so we can terminate it by tying just a overhanded knot. You see, I bring the loop to me, put this up and in between. Boom. Same thing with this. Boom. And then if they're longer, that's where you bring them back in and you incorporate them into the rest of your braid, just like you did when you initially came in. But we don't have it. Well, we do. We've got enough for that one, so we'll bring that one in. Right? So you can do the same thing that we started off with, the two center ones, up and down. The right is on top, left and right. The left is on top. And then you just do it again. Uh-oh, they're coming for me because I'm giving away all the secrets. And just keep going. Alright, and you would finish that down your release cord. And hang on, I'm going to pinch that off for a second. So if you need to stop your work, that's how you can pause with your work. You just tie it. 4 strands. You go over. We'll leave that one for last since it's being fit there. Over, 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 and under pattern because we've got a shorter cord here. So we go start with the pink. Yellow's next. Go under the orange. So it's up through the blue. So then the yellow goes under the orange, under the blue, up. Orange is under the blue, under the pink, and then the last one under that pink, under the yellow, and up through the orange. And then you just tighten it. Like before. Work it down. And you just keep working your way around, tightening, tightening, tightening. And if you really want to get overboard and carried away, you can actually take something and go underneath and stretch so you get it real nice and tight. So, but there it is. That's my version of a shepherd's sling. And like I said, the finger loop is another day's story. Entry knot, 4-strand braid, 4-strand with 5 strands, 4-strand braid with the 6 strands into your pouch to lock it together through this section. Then you do your split weave for ever how long of a projectile, ever how long of arms you need to go around your projectile. And then you come out of it and you do the same thing with the 6-strand going into a 4-strand braid with 6 strands, 2 of them combined in 2 of the strands. And then you just drop your stuff as you go. And then there's your release knot and your tassels. Hope you find it useful. Have a great day. Good luck.